Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. On today's episode, we're going to modify this already modified tire carrier for my CJ2A. Let's hop into it. Now I picked up this tire carrier off a CJ7 on Marketplace a couple years back, and I modified it by both lengthening it here at the end and widening it to get past the tailgate on a 2A. But the issue I'm having is I originally put a pintle hitch on this, and with the tire on the tire carrier, it just didn't work. So I either run a spare tire or a rear toe point, but not both. So today we're going to take this whole unit, lift it up about 4 inches, and that'll give me the clearance to run the spare tire and run a rear pintle. And also it's going to improve my departure angle. You might not be able to see on the video, but I did bend this coming off or going up a rock. Just bent the tire back just a little bit. So that's going to really improve that. The first thing I think I'm going to do is cut off this lower bracket. And because this whole thing is going to have to move. Then we'll cut off this box that the actual tire mounts to and move it up about 4 inches. I'll plate this with 3/16 plate and then run some gussets along the top and brace it both ways. So let's hop into that. One. Okay, so I got my bracket all cleaned up. Got my 3/16 plate, my scrap pile. Basically going to measure this, do the exact same as this, but 4 inches taller and about an inch wider. So I got a 1/2 inch on either side so I can weld down the seams. And then that'll bring this whole tire bracket from here to about there. And that'll give me a ton more clearance. So this is kind of where we're working with. You can see the bottom edge of that angle used to meet up at the bottom of the tire carrier bar. I moved it up about 4.5 inches. So the whole tire is going to sit that much higher once it's plated in. Gives you a rough idea of where my mind's at. Then of course the plate's going to come all the way up to here. I'll triangulate this a little bit. It's not going to be the best. And then I'll work these down so they become sort of the stabilizers angular. But that's kind of what we're thinking. Got the old plasma cutter out here. We'll get to work on this 3/16 plate. Cut her all out. Okay, where are we at? Well, I cut up that 3/16 plate and got it mocked up kind of roughly where it's going to go on the back of the tire carrier. Something like this. You can see how much taller it's going to sit. Hopefully it doesn't look too goofy, but it's really going to improve the departure angle and give us that clearance for that rear toe point. Well, you might be wondering, why don't I just make a little tow hook on the back or something small like that, and then you don't have to worry about all of this, the pintle, everything. But the reality is I do need that rear departure angle. And at some point, I've always kept my eye out for an M101 trailer. That would look pretty cool behind this thing, just to have. It'd be nice to run some errands and do whatever. So I would like to eventually be able to if I needed to. And like I said, departure angle, gonna be way better. Hook up, towing, pulling, whatever. It's gonna be so much better. So that's why we've gone this route. Okay, got them all cut out. We're going to throw the wheel carrier onto the swing out arm. Just going to tack it all together, see how it fits. So as you can see, you got to fit it on. Lots of good clearance. Got about 2 inches now clearance between the bottom of the tire and the pintle. So you should be able to operate that and keep this closed at the same time. Brings that tire right up, really increases the departure angle. You can see it's gonna whoop. It's gonna have a much better departure angle. Just overall, it's gonna be just a better setup. All we gotta do now is finish weld it up and throw this baby on. Let's go. For welders, I'm using this 110 Power Fist flux core. This is my crap here, but guess what? It's gonna hold just fine. Okay, here's where we're at. It's all welded up, ready to be shot with some paint. I moved these gussets to the lower support. They tie it in on that end. And then I also added some small little angle iron at the back just to support that as much as I can with the space that's provided. And I also added a big bolt, and I have a big piece of rod that's going to shoot up about this high and a flat piece on the top, so I can mount a GoPro for like first person video over my shoulder when we go for a drive. I'm gonna hit this with some paint and show you what it looks like when it's all done. Okay, I spared you the boring bits of painting, but it's done. It's all painted up. There it is. It's all mounted up. I'll show you around. Let's get this tire on. Now we've got full access to the pintle hitch, much higher ground clearance. That's going to be awesome. Coming off of a rock or going up a rock, that's going to make a huge difference. Seems pretty secure for what it is, really. This is the rod I made. It's just actually, I think this is a steering column out of a spare Jeep. I have another 2A that was toast. I welded a nut on the bottom and a little flat piece on the top. And this just screws on here. Well, I'm not gonna lie, it's mildly annoying. When I mocked this up, when it was at full turn, tight, this was straight. It's not straight anymore, so I don't know. You're gonna have some spacers or something on the bottom. No, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But yeah, it's a bit of a bummer. We'll get her set up though. I don't know if you can hear this, but the water pump's got a bit of a squeak to her. We'll have to look into that. Well, let's go for a little cruise.
Supposed to call your location out going up on the forest road in the mountain. We're doing construction. I of course don't have a radio. So I'm just gonna follow this guy. Not a bad spot.
Okay, tire carrier held up really nicely. I think it sits okay. I was worried about it looking a bit goofy and high, but I think that's pretty good. Okay, thanks a lot for coming along with me on this one. We got the new tire carrier and the GoPro mount hooked up. Beautiful, beautiful stunner of a January day here. Sun's out, we're just up in the mountains, going for a little cruise on some fire roads. Thanks again, appreciate you watching, and we'll see you on the next one.